Well, good morning, everybody, and Carlos, thanks for getting us started. I'm honored to be here with all of you this morning to celebrate some good news, and where I spend a lot of my time in the course of most weeks. We don't have good news to report every day, so this is a rare privilege. I want to thank Mayor Slaughter for his leadership and his determined efforts to secure this funding and to work with us to get it. It wasn't easy, and I really appreciate his steadfast focus on this over the course of a number of years, and I'm grateful for that leadership. Lieutenant Colonel David Myers, we're grateful for your leadership and that of your team at the Army Corps, and those in this audience and beyond who have worked so hard to make this day possible. $8 million. I'll say it again, $8 million is a good number. And it's only made possible because taxpayers give us the opportunity to direct these dollars to projects that are worthy. And there is no project that I can think of that's more worthy than this investment in the Greater Williamsport Levee. I was thinking as I was coming up here, just the history of not just Williamsport, the industrial and economic history, but the history of this county especially. But here in Williamsport and throughout the region, of course you know the history better than I, the lumber industry that boomed from the 1860s to the 1890s. And it's a fact that the same branch of the Susquehanna River, the west branch of the Susquehanna River, that helped bring that prosperity by way of the ability to transport lumber, and the boom that created here in Williamsport and in Lycoming County. That same river that still brings a lot of benefits to this region and to the people. That same river is a river that often brings devastation, utter devastation. I could name for people in this audience and for your families, I wouldn't even have to describe the devastation. I could just name the years, 1936, for example, 1972, 2011. And I was also remembering coming up here from Scranton this morning what happened in 2011, probably the most significant recent event in not just Williamsport, Lycoming County, north central Pennsylvania, but northeastern Pennsylvania, south central Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania. I'm not going west because in 2011, most of the devastation was in the eastern half of the state. And one thing that I remember pointedly about those visits that I made to county after county in all of those regions, basically one half of Pennsylvania in the fall of 2011, was not just the physical devastation, what a flood does to a community, how it ravages homes and destroys livelihoods and hurts businesses and paralyzes a community. But what I remember most about that tour that we did was the devastation I saw on people's faces and the emotion that welled up in people. I was in Luzerne County at the time, ran into a friend of mine who I've known for decades before the 2011 flood. And I walked up to him and I said, "How are you doing?" Because his home was flooded. Now he wasn't bankrupt, he wasn't completely devastated, but because a flood had ravaged his home and kind of violated him and his family, it's like someone coming into your house and stealing everything you know, and then getting out the door and getting away with it. I walked up to him and just tried to greet him, and this is one of the most confident, upbeat people I know. He just dissolved in tears. He was just devastated by that flood. And then I'd go to places in other parts of northeastern and south central and southeastern Pennsylvania, and the same thing. So you all know what I'm talking about. You've seen that devastation, the physical devastation, but also how it destroys people's lives. We have to take action to make sure that these flood-prone areas of our state are protected. There are lots of ways to do that, lots of opportunities over the course of many years, but this is one of them, to make a direct federal investment. The origins of it come right from the people. People coming to me, the mayor on behalf of the city, and of course Lycoming County officials, the commissioners and others making the case, the business community and others. But they're coming to me saying, we need these dollars for our community. Can you get these dollars to help us fund this project? So that's what this is about. It's about jobs, short-term and long-term. It's about long-term economic growth. But I think maybe most important, this is about peace of mind. The peace of mind to know that in a community, there is a measure of protection that only a levee can bring. A measure of protection that businesses can rely upon and plan and not have their whole business plan undermined by the devastation of a flood. That families can rely upon and have that peace of mind to know that they're going to have a measure of protection that wasn't there before. So I'm grateful to be joining with you today to celebrate this, and we're looking forward to seeing the work of this project and seeing the protections and the benefits it brings to the people of Williamsport, the people of Lycoming County, and all of north central Pennsylvania. Thanks very much.
I want to start by first thanking Senator Casey for making a stop in Williamsport today to highlight the importance of getting our levee system reaccredited and recertified. I would also like to thank Colonel Pinchason, Lieutenant Colonel Myers, and their entire team at the Army Corps of Engineers, FEMA, PEMA, as well as former Congressman Keller, former Senator Toomey, Senator Fetterman, and Congressman Muser. The levee has been a top priority of my administration, and Senator Casey has been a steadfast supporter for many years. We greatly appreciate his efforts to ensure our success. Due to Senator Casey's support, and as he noted during his remarks, we were able to secure $8 million of congressionally directed spending to assist with the critical levee upgrades here in Williamsport and Lycoming County. I want to take a few moments to highlight the history of our levee and a few of the upgrades this funding will support. The Williamsport levee system provides flood protection to the residents, commercial, and industrial businesses in multiple municipalities, including the city of Williamsport, borough of South Williamsport, Loyalsock, and Old Lycoming townships, forming the epicenter of Lycoming County. The levee system was constructed between 1951 and 1955, with upgrades after Tropical Storm Agnes in 1972. The system has been maintained for 70 years, but has not undergone redesign or asset upgrades in over 50 years until now. Thanks once again to Senator Casey and his colleagues. Working closely with local, county, state, and federal lawmakers has provided funding opportunities through grants and federal earmarks to use the latest engineering methods and climate data to ensure and improve flood protection will be provided to these communities now and well into the future. The most recent federal earmark, coupled with funding from the city, county, and state and federal grants, has provided funding to, and here are a few of the highlights to our specific levee system, design a relief well system throughout the entire Williamsport levee system over the next 3 years in both the city and borough, where residents will likely start to see drill rigs later this year and other equipment along the levee that will be collecting data for this effort. Slip line and rehabilitate pipes that drain by crossing through the levee throughout the city over the next 1 to 2 years. Install electrical upgrades at 3 pump stations, including Spring Run, Mill Race, and Arch Street. Levee design and permitting to raise the levee and flood walls along Lycoming Creek, increasing the level of flood protection for the community over the next 2 to 3 years. Work continues to revitalize the system as the city seeks to provide additional investment for the design and installation of electrical upgrades at the remaining pump stations, including the Hepburn Street Pump Station, which is where we are currently, and this is our largest and most expensive of all of our pump stations. I want to reiterate the close working relationship between the city, county, state, and federal partners as well as our engineering firm, WSP. Without all of us being on the same page, this work would not be possible. Thank you once again to Senator Casey and his entire team for their commitment to Williamsport and Lycoming County, and we look forward to our shared partnership to ensure continued success. Thank you.